What's the real reason your unit failed their deployment readiness inspection? Our battalion was supposed to deploy to Iraq in 6 weeks. Everything hinged on passing this one final inspection. 3-star general flying in to certify we were ready for combat. I was a logistics sergeant working under Captain Everett Vaughn. Good officer, cared about his soldiers, did everything by the book. Our supply accountability was his obsession. 2 weeks before inspection, Vaughn pulled me aside. Sergeant Holloway, I need you to run a complete inventory. Every serial number, every piece of equipment, no shortcuts. I spent 12-hour days counting gear. Rifles, radios, night vision, body armor, medical supplies. Everything had to match the official records perfectly. That's when I found the problem. We were missing critical equipment, 20 sets of body armor plates, 15 tactical radios, 10 pairs of night vision goggles worth about $200,000. Gone. No paperwork, no explanation, just vanished. I reported it to Captain Vaughn immediately. His face went pale. Are you absolutely certain? Yes, sir. I've checked 3 times. The equipment's not here. This was catastrophic. Missing gear meant automatic inspection failure. Failed inspection meant no deployment, which meant the unit replacing us in Iraq would have to stay longer. Soldiers who thought they were coming home would be stuck in a war zone. Vaughn started investigating. Pulled supply records, interviewed soldiers, checked transfer documents, found nothing. The equipment had disappeared like smoke. I could see him unraveling, barely sleeping, constantly reviewing paperwork. The inspection was 8 days away. Someone stole it, he finally admitted to me. Had to be, and I can't prove who or when or how. My career is over. The whole battalion is going to suffer because I lost accountability. Day before inspection, Vaughn called me into his office. He looked like he'd aged 10 years in 2 weeks. Sergeant Holloway, I'm going to request a delay on the inspection. Tell them we need more time to resolve supply issues. It'll ruin my reputation, but it's better than lying. That's when Private Sterling Pruitt knocked on the door. Kid was 19, barely out of basic training. Quiet guy who worked in the motor pool. Sir, I need to confess something. The missing equipment, I know where it is. Vaughn and I both stared at him. You stole it? Vaughn asked, voice dangerous. No, sir, I moved it 6 months ago. Pruitt's hands were shaking. Remember when we had those Afghan interpreters living on base? The ones who helped our unit during the previous deployment? I remembered. 12 interpreters and their families. They'd been granted asylum, waiting for permanent relocation, living in temporary housing on our installation. Those families had nothing, sir. Kids sleeping on floors, no warm clothes for winter. I saw their situation and it didn't feel right. Pruitt explained what he'd done. Over several months, he'd been quietly transferring equipment to the interpreter families. Body armor plates became insulation for their poorly heated quarters. Tactical radios so they could communicate with caseworkers. Night vision devices he traded to a civilian contractor for furniture and supplies. I falsified transfer documents, sir, made it look like equipment was being shipped for repair or redistribution. I knew it was wrong, but those people risked their lives for us. Watched them living in poverty while we had warehouses full of gear. The office went dead silent. What Pruitt described was serious. Court-martial serious. Years in military prison serious. But Vaughn didn't explode. He just sat there processing. Finally asked, where's the equipment now? The families were relocated 3 months ago. Equipment went with them. Some of it they still have. Some they sold to survive. It's gone, sir. Vaughn looked at me, then back at Pruitt. Private, you just confessed to theft of military property, fraud, and about 6 other violations. You understand that? Yes, sir. I'll accept whatever punishment. Just wanted you to know it wasn't your fault. You didn't lose accountability. I took it. The inspection happened next morning. Vaughn reported the missing equipment and the circumstances. Didn't try to hide anything. Told the 3-star general exactly what happened. We failed. Spectacularly. Deployment delayed 2 months while everything got sorted out. Pruitt got arrested that afternoon, faced multiple charges, looking at 3 years minimum. But then something unexpected happened. The interpreters Pruitt had helped heard about his situation. They started calling congressmen, talking to media, sharing their story. Turns out those 12 families had been living in conditions nobody knew about. Bureaucratic oversight had left them in terrible housing with almost no support. Pruitt's theft had kept several kids from freezing during winter. Media picked it up, became a national story. Public pressure built fast. Military prosecutors dropped the charges 6 weeks later. Pruitt got an administrative separation instead of prison time. General discharge, not dishonorable. Captain Vaughn received a formal reprimand but kept his commission. He'd reported the problem honestly instead of covering it up. Our battalion finally deployed 4 months late. Vaughn led us into Iraq and brought every soldier home safe. Pruitt ended up working for a veterans nonprofit helping refugee families. Uses his military logistics experience to coordinate supply donations. Last I heard, he's helped relocate over 300 interpreter families. Congress even consulted him when reforming the asylum process. The general who failed our inspection wrote a letter years later. Said Pruitt's case taught the Army more about integrity than any inspection ever could.